Let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're here because today we're unpacking what I consider a total masterclass in modern healthcare logistics. We are looking at a newly announced super strategic partnership between two absolute heavyweights, Shantha Biologics and Novo Nordisk. Now, I know on the surface, a manufacturing announcement might just sound like boring corporate paperwork, but this specific agreement to manufacture injectable cartridges, it actually represents the vital, beating heart of how modern medicine reaches the people who need it most. It's this fascinating peek into the hidden architecture of global health, and man, I cannot wait to break this whole thing down for you.
So, here's a question for you. How do life-saving doses actually get from a super sophisticated research lab right into your hands, or say, into the hands of a patient halfway across the world? It is so easy for us to just focus entirely on those brilliant scientists discovering the drugs, right? We celebrate the chemical breakthroughs, the clinical trials, but here is the absolute truth. A miraculous drug is completely useless if it can't be safely, cleanly, and reliably transported from that sterile lab setting straight to the end user. The logistics of global healthcare have incredibly high stakes. We're talking about delicate, temperature-sensitive, perfectly measured doses of medicine. And solving that massive gap between the laboratory beaker and the patient, well, that is exactly what today's explainer is all about.
All right, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the Pharma Partnership Model.
Okay, so a strategic manufacturing partnership isn't just about outsourcing for the sake of it. In the ultra-high-stakes world of pharmaceuticals, the global demand is just massive. It's so incredibly vast that no single entity can effectively do absolutely everything from scratch. It's pretty much impossible. So this highly specialized agreement means one company hones in. They dedicate literally all of their resources, their tech, and their facility space to master the production of very specific components. In our case, the physical packaging of the drug. And what that does is free up the other company to focus entirely on what they do best, right? Creating the actual medicine and managing that giant, complex web of end-use distribution to patients worldwide. It is essentially the ultimate division of labor applied to life-saving science.
So it's where specialized production meets global distribution, because creating the actual medicine is honestly only half the battle. Actually, scratch that, it might be less than half. Once you have those active pharmaceutical ingredients, you face a monumental logistical challenge. That medicine absolutely must be packaged with precision. It's got to be sterile, perfectly measured, and put into a physical vessel that's actually safe for a patient to handle. Doing this for just one dose, hard enough, but doing it for millions upon millions of doses, that requires an unbelievable level of synergy. And that is exactly why specialized production companies are really the unsung heroes of global health. They take the raw genius of pharmaceutical creation and put it into a format that can safely travel the globe.
Let's move on and meet the companies actually doing this. Section 2, meet the strategic players. Okay, so on one side of the ring we have Shantha Biologics. They are stepping up as the focused manufacturing powerhouse. They're the ones bringing the massive infrastructure, the highly specialized clean rooms, and the expertly trained workforce required to physically construct the vessels that hold the medicine. Opposite them is Novo Nordisk, acting as the global pharmaceutical creator. They're the ones conducting the extensive research, developing the active formulations, and managing this globe-spanning supply chain to get these treatments to the clinics and hospitals that need them. The synergy here is crystal clear, isn't it? One provides the physical capability of flawless production, and the other provides the life-saving formulation and that massive global reach.
So, let's zoom in on the exact details. Section 3, the injectable cartridge deal.
The mechanics of this deal are absolutely crucial to understand. Shantha Biologics is officially taking on the dedicated manufacturing role for this specific project. And by structuring it this way, Novo Nordisk brilliantly secures its supply chain. They completely eliminate the bottleneck of trying to manufacture every single piece of their delivery systems in-house. But, and this is the most vital piece of info to take away here, the entire focus of this specific synergy is exclusively on injectable drug cartridges. They aren't making pills, they aren't making IV bags. This operation is laser-focused on one highly specific, incredibly important piece of medical technology. And that injectable drug cartridge is truly the linchpin of this entire strategic deal. I mean, think about what a cartridge actually has to do. It is not just a simple glass bottle, not even close. It's an active delivery mechanism. It has to perfectly preserve the stability of the drug inside, often over super long periods of time and across a bunch of different temperatures. Plus, it has to interface flawlessly with a pen or an injection device, ensuring that when a patient pushes a button, the exact right micro-measurement of medicine is delivered safely and smoothly. The manufacturing challenge of producing these at massive scale, with literally zero room for error, is immense. And that is exactly why Novo Nordisk sought out a dedicated powerhouse like Shantha Biologics to handle the whole shebang.
Let's see how this all builds together. Section 4, inside the manufacturing process.
So this partnership basically operates as a logical three-step relay race. Step 1 starts with Novo Nordisk. This is the drug formulation stage, where all that complex, highly regulated chemistry takes place. Then, they essentially pass the baton to Step 2, where Shantha Biologics executes the cartridge manufacturing. The formulated drug is integrated into these perfectly engineered cartridges being produced on a massive scale. Once those are filled, sealed, and put through some really rigorous quality control, the baton is passed to Step 3, global patient distribution. The finalized, perfectly packaged doses re-enter Novo Nordisk's massive logistical network to be shipped worldwide. It is a beautifully structured, highly efficient assembly line that spans across two entirely separate companies.
A great way to think about it is like ink cartridges for a printer, but, for life-saving medicine. A printer cartridge has to click in perfectly to function, right? If the little metal contacts are off by even a millimeter, the hardware just fails. Now, apply that same exacting standard of precision to medical hardware. Shantha Biologics isn't just making a basic container, they're manufacturing a high-precision engineering component. It has to perform flawlessly and interface perfectly with those delivery pens every single time a patient relies on it. There's just no margin for error.
Let's bring this all back home. Section 5. Why this matters now.
2. Just the number 2. This represents our two major healthcare entities uniting, and it really highlights the incredible power of B2B synergy. Because for the patient at home, who actually relies on an injectable drug, the focus isn't on corporate contracts, right? They don't care about manufacturing facility specs. What matters to them is that when they go to the pharmacy, their medication is in stock, it's safe, and it's ready to use. By combining the superpowers of these two distinct entities, this partnership drastically streamlines the global supply chain. It removes roadblocks, meaning way more cartridges can be produced faster, and with incredibly high-quality control. The power of two specialized companies working in tandem translates directly to reliability and peace of mind for the patient at the very end of the line.
So it leaves us with this huge question. How will outsourced specialized manufacturing completely change the future speed and availability of global medicine? As drug formulations become more complex, and they definitely are, the packaging and delivery systems are only going to become more intricate. This Shantha Biologics and Novo Nordisk partnership, it's a prime example of where the entire industry is heading. A highly collaborative, specialized network of experts working together to overcome these massive logistical hurdles. So the next time you see a medical breakthrough in the news, take a second to think about the incredible coordinated manufacturing effort it takes to get that breakthrough into a cartridge and ultimately to the people who need it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, keep asking those big questions.